Uh, Hello, welcome to the deck profile. It's gonna be a cyberdark deck profile. I topped at locals again, and I won this one. I'm gonna go over my side deck, my extra deck, and some of the small changes I made, which I just took out 2 cards. That's really it. That's literally it. And I bumped up my cyber dragons to back to 3. But I'll talk about that when the time comes. But it's gonna be a little hard to see because I'm using my phone, 0.5 as all the other videos. But yeah, let's get started. We're gonna start with our best, most beautiful starter right here, Cyber Dragon, and I actually just pulled this ultra rare, no, super rare of core, working on max rating the whole deck one day. But this is our best starter and can be a good extender after you start in case you need it. You do need to manage your resources because especially when he's in your graveyard and you need to banish him next turn to get a Cyber Dragon from deck that might help you, you got to be careful because going turn 1, you could use a lot of your resources. And I'm still learning how to make sure my resources are still managed. And I think I managed them pretty nicely in my in the tournament I played last. And then we're going to go with, hold on, let me put the pretty one up front. 3 Cyber Dragon. You don't know when you're going to need him. You don't know if you're going to need him. But it's always nice to have a little bit of backup. And a cool guy from Zach at the locals I played, he gave me this one because I played Cyber Dragon against him and it was pretty cool. Very happy. Then 1 Hertz. That's standard. Sometimes you don't always want to use this effect to add a Cyber Dragon from your graveyard to hand. It's very situational. Know when you need to use it because sometimes you need to get a revive him in some way, shape, or form, and get him to level 5 to help you with your disease plays. I learned that last local, which was yesterday. I was pretty surprised that I remembered that I could do that instead of adding one. So yeah, and then you got 1 Naxter, that's pretty simple, really good plays, really good ways to get back your Chimera if you don't got it, or bring back a level 5 so you can, go into your Z summoning. And then 1 Jormungandr, I say Jormungandr because I think it's funny. Really good extender for going second, and then if you need him in the graveyard, you get him in the graveyard, go for your Xyz plays. Bestial, and you have him in hand, boom, he's immediately active. So primarily, I usually go first with this build, since with the cyberdarks. I try to go with my cyberdark plays for going first. First turn is all about control, get your negates on the board. And then turn 2 is about your OTKing and protecting the monsters on your field. And breaking boards, because we have a couple board breakers inside of here. I might bump it up eventually if I find different ways to play around with my cards. But the final deck that I have in my Neuron will probably come to light as the best version so far that I've made. And I do take inspiration from other videos. I look and do research. So this is what I think works a lot if I want to play all my other stuff. We're going to go 3 Cyberdark Claws. Your best searcher for your Cyberdarks, it's probably another one of your starters. It gets you to your extending, like Horizon and Realm, in case Core is negated. I learned that the hard way, and I think I lost that duel, but I still came out on top and won that round. 2 Chimera, I was thinking about running at 1, but it's incredibly risky if you can't get him back. So I definitely suggest running it at 2. 1 Cannon, because opening 2 of them, it's kind of like, what do I do with 2 cannons? And you can only grab either your Chimera, your Worm, or your Edge. And you usually don't want to grab your Edge at all. So, we do Edge, but we're not going to grab the Edge, right? Cannon, hopefully the glare isn't messing it up. I'm sorry, guys. Very cheap setup. But it's definitely amazing, and it's going to kick this things off with Edge, and we're going to be edging. We barely use this. You must dump it. It gives you your names. And then you get your 1 Worm. Beautiful extender. Beautiful starter. It definitely helps out the deck. One of probably the best support we got. We're going to clean this up a bit because we're going to be moving on to stuff that's not Cyber Dragons. Definitely very useful. You can use it from hand or graveyard. Remember, if you have them in your hand, you can still use it as long as you have another machine in your graveyard. We're going to move this aside. Irian King Regulus. This is very normal. For the deck to be in like a lot of machine decks. It's really good. You definitely want to try to get this early in your combo or like going up to your combo, because starting it, especially with your 1-card starter with 1-card combo pretty much, or 1.5, because you definitely need a spell in hand at least. But King Regulus is able to get like in the first like 2, maybe 3 normal summons, you can get the King Regulus out, and it's really good for setting up for Nibiru. Nibiru is very dangerous against this deck, because once you use some of your resources, you can't get them back. So you get 1 Therion, then still I think I run about 6 or 7. I don't mean to meme, but around 6 or 7 hand traps. So 3 Ash, best hand trap in the game. 1 Droll, because I do have a crossout designator, because Droll kills this deck. I'm telling you, it kills this deck. So I run a crossout designator just for that. And it helps for if you need a negate against something, if you try to get impermed, or if you try to get Nibiru, it's really good to have that in hand just in case if you need it. 1 Nibiru, because just in case if you go second and you don't have it main decked, don't have 2 main decked, because we're going first with this build, but it can go second, which is amazing. Moving on to our spells, because that's pretty much it. That's it for our hand traps. Moving on to our spells. 3 emergency, pretty basic. It gets you to your starter. It gets you to literally everything. And it can add Jormungandr. I repeat, it can add Jormungandr. Oh my goodness. Jormungandr, whatever it's called. You can grab Jormungandr with this. It is really important that you know this, because it's like, oh, what do I do now? I only have emergency and I can't do core. Jormungandr, you got Jormungandr. It helps, trust. It's really useful. 3 cyber emergency. I bumped this up to 2 because it's a really good searcher, and it gets things in your graveyard that you need, and it gets you a fusion monster from your graveyard, from your extra to your graveyard, which you also need for said for said place. It's really good. I cut this down to 1, and it's Cyberdark Realm. It's easily searchable. You can open it up. It's pretty nice. You don't gotta search it now since it's in your hand, but I think you don't need to. It's not that important, but because once you get your normal summon off for your extra normal summon for your Chimera off, you pretty much don't need it anymore. And most of the time, you're setting it off of Clockwork Knight to get Clockwork Knight. Yeah, and then we got 2 Power Bond. Just in case you open it, right? Open 1, you can pitch it to search 1, or if you want to get crafty with your plays, you can help. It helps. It just helps. It helps to have 2 just in case you don't got to. With the Mechanical Dawn, which I'm planning to get and adding polymerization, you're still gonna play 2 Power Bond, because if you open up both Power Bonds, you can Power Bond 1 into Horse Frog, and then use Power Bond 2 off of Chimera's. No, you can't do off of Chimera's effect, so you're pretty much screwed. But you have a chance to get polymerization. That's good at least, but you definitely want to at least have 2 in your deck, because just in case you open 1. I think I already said that. 2 Clockwork Knight, 1 to banish and discard a card from your hand to get Therion King Regulus, and 1 for all on the field, which shuts down a lot of type-specific decks or engines like Fiendsmith, or if it needs like something needs a certain amount of monsters, boom, it's machine. And I think I did stop a Cyberverse play with Clockwork Knight, maybe a little bit, I can't remember, but I know every time I know I'm going to go up against Fiendsmith, I'm happy I at least have this on the field. Or if something requires just dragons, which a rival of mine at Locals plays something that requires a lot of dragons, and specifically dragons, this stops that. And then 2 Freedom Droplet, it's gonna get cut down to 1 when I get a polymerization, because it's good to have it, right? It's good to have it, but again, I don't see all that much, and it's an occasional good card. It doesn't have to, be 2 or max them out, because then that's also getting rid of stuff on your field, which kind of hinders your plays occasionally. But I occasionally see this. I don't mind running it down to 1, because then I'll see it when I need it or whatnot. But that's Forbidden Droplet. And then 1 Crosshair Designator. I explained why you need this. Ash Blossom is dangerous. Nibiru is also dangerous. Droll completely kills you. Call by the Grave. Again, we hate hand traps, and we don't want to get hand trapped. 1 talents. I did not put the thrust in here because, yeah, I'm not going second. I'm not planning on going second. So if I need to add it in here, which is it's in the side deck, I will. 2 Imperm. I'm thinking about running Rivalry of the Warlords because you barely summon Nibiru, so you can even cut it if you want completely, but with all your machines, and you can make everything in machines with your Clockwork Knight, and they already have monsters on the field, or if they summon a monster, now it's machines, now they can't summon another monster because you can only have 1 type of monster on the field, which is really good. So I'm planning on maybe adding it as a tech card. I'm not 100% sure, but it's not in like the final build. Moving on to our side deck. Just make sure I'm still recording. Eternal, a good reborn card for your Cyber Machine monsters. So it can. These are the cards that can revive. I guess I have revive Cyber Dark End Dragon. Hopefully you can see that. Cyber Darkness Dragon, Cyber End Dragon, Eternity Dragon, and that's all the fusion monsters that can be revived off of Eternal. But that's only if you fusion summon it correctly, which isn't that hard. Trust, it's not that hard to fusion summon correctly. Other than that, it just puts it back in the extra deck. But if that's what you need, because maybe they outed your board, because you usually will have Darkness equipped with this 8,000 attack, because you probably use Power Bond on it. You will use Power Bond on this. Bada bing, bada boom. He's here. You can Eternal, get him back, equip something, boom, you got another negate. You got a revived negate. And if they try anything to destroy your monsters, you can banish this to protect it. And it doesn't start a chain link, which is good. It can also revive this big boy right here, which is really good. But again, you would have to tribute someone to get this guy out here, and then you have it. But you probably won't need it because people will barely out it. Like a really important play, it's you get him on the field, you equip something, Eternal, bam, that's another negate with your final board. I'll show you a final board in some hand testing. Maybe might do hand testing. But I will probably at the end of the video, I'll show you like a final board that you usually will go out with if you do decide to main deck this. Moving on with our side deck, we got 1 Eternal, 2 thrusts. You remember, if we go turn 2, 1 or 2 thrusts, never hurt. 2 Lightning Storm for the back row. This actually helped me a lot when I did side deck it during Malice. And yes, I did fight Malice and I did do extremely well. But here's the thing. Why did I pause there? You know what? Never mind. Right now I have 2 Lancia. Imagine there's a 3rd one here. Just imagine. Imagine there's a 3rd Lancia. Remember, we hate Malice. Another Jormungandr if you want an extra light extender for going second. Another Nibiru, kind of like the same thing, but like it's more hand traps in case you need it because you know you're going second. And that's pretty much it for the side deck. Nothing too crazy there. Then we're gonna go in opposite order. We're gonna go Clockwork Knight. Remember, searches you Clockwork Knight. You send it off of your realm off of that, and it helps you go with your Horse Frog plays. I've been studying because I'm planning on adding Horse Frog to the deck. 1 SP Little Knight. You barely summon this at any point. I'm actually thinking about just cutting this completely because like it's good when it comes up. But once you're locked into machines for the turn, you don't summon it, and it's more of a turn 2 thing. And attacking directly, especially after breaking an opponent's board, especially with Clockwork Knight, you don't want to use this banish effect, which is definitely useful, right? You don't want to use this banish effect. I learned that one the hard way, but I still won that game. Striker Ace Azili. A lot of people don't play this card. I don't know why, right? It probably is because like it's not useful in the moment. But not only is it a good pop and it has good interruption during the battle phase, like if they say, okay, I'm going to attack an Azili, and they don't read it, banish a spell card from your graveyard and destroy the attacking monster. Bada bing, bada boom. You can, even during your turn when you're attacking with it, you attack, you banish a card from the graveyard, boom, their monster's destroyed. They may not take any battle damage, but that's removal, right? And then you want 1 Seeger, because once you Clockwork Knight, if you want to go into Azili, you link into Seeger, then you link into Azili. I know uses a lot. It uses a lot, but it's actually pretty useful. I do sometimes leave Seeker on the field if I want more damage. I think it would be smarter sometimes if I did it, but that's just more things in Graveyard I can use. It did not come up to where I needed to use this, but I play a Chronomaly Vimana. I don't know its name, but I know it will one day, and I think it'll be a pretty useful card when it does. Because never in my life have I summoned Cyber Twin Dragon to my field playing the Cyberdark Cyber Dragon deck. So I think just in case if I have a lot more level 5s on the field that I don't care about, I'll make that. Then we got one Nova, because you need Nova to go into Infinity, and you need it for your Cyber Dragon plays for Eternal Dawn and something else. And then for one Infinity, one for Big Suck, one Negate. Very useful, very incredible. I'm thinking about running Zeus in this deck, but I'm not 100% sure. One Rampage, because, your Rampage, you either use it if you really need to banish 2 Fusion Summon on turn, so you can go into Infinity for a Negate. But you do you with that one. You can run 2 if you want. I just do 1. Right now, I put 2 Fortress. It's actually very useful, and when it comes up for a second one, but I realized usually after I use the one off, they're completely like, oh, dang, I don't got nothing else. So personally, I might just run it at 1 and add the Mechanical Dawn for one of these. So just imagine that's a Mechanical Dawn. And then 1 Mega Fleet for anything inside the extra monster zone. And this needs a Cyber Dragon monster. So you can have Infinity on the field, and if you need to, get him out. Also, a funny little tech thing. If you have Therion King Regulus on the field, and it's equipped with Cyber Dragon, the card Cyber Dragon, you can contact Fuse with that too. And it's hilarious, it's funny, it's actually a really funny ruling. People are gonna be like, what the flip? But like, trust, it works, it's allowed, and it's hilarious. Then we go 1 Eternal. Eternity, I mean. Eternity, usually turn 2 if you send that off of your Horizon. And with your Horizon, it sends off the it will send off him, and then he can banish from the graveyard to protect your fusion monsters, which is very good, very useful. 1 Cyber End Dragon, you turn 1 usually send him off so you can equip him to this, and if you want to go into this, but I suggest otherwise, just to have your negates on the field unless you're main decking Cyber Eternal and you have it to play. Or you side it and you decide to play. But you can just summon him off rip and, turn 2 and just boom, boom, boom with the defense position monsters and they die. Because it's 8,000 attack at the end of the day. And it's really strong. Then there's 1 Darkness that which is your main turn 1 control negate board. And then you get your 1 Cyber Dark End Dragon in case you need that wall, that unaffected by activated wall and by card effects wall. Unaffected by activated card effects wall. And you can equip monsters from your opponent's graveyard to this card, giving it extra attacks, which is absolutely beautiful because now you got a 5k beater and you are using some of their resources too. That's pretty much it. I think I'll probably show you an end board right now, actually, so you for turn 1, so you get an idea how powerful this could be. So we're just gonna pick all this up. Then I'm gonna show you, right? You're most likely gonna have your Infinity on board, right? With a couple little things. You're gonna have your Darkness with your End Dragon. You're gonna have your Therion King Regulus equipped with a Machine Monster. And you'll probably have your Link Monster, Azili, on the field. Or your Seeker, right? Just imagine it up there. And then you can, and then with the Mechanical Dawn, that's an extra spell negate. So that's a spell negate, Omni Negate and Destroy, 2 more Omni Negates and Destroys off of him, and then an Omni Negate, and then Interruption during battle, or Increase Attack during battle, which is absolutely amazing because that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negate. And if you have, where is it? If you have Eternal and you use Eternal and you get this bad boy out and you have one more, that's 3 more. I don't need to negate and destroys with him. I don't need to negate interruption. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 negates on the board, which is pretty cool. But if I saw somebody run a Fiendsmith Cyber Dragon, so they do have to play carefully. You have to play very carefully. You want to add Fiendsmith inside of a deck where that locks you into machines. But you know, I was talking with people and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna have to like, I know that. I know I can lock myself in machines. I know this, and that." But you have to play really careful if you want to play one of those packages. Like, I cannot stress it enough because, you know, people, they were telling me, like, this, that, this. I understand that. I'm just saying, I know I have to play careful, but I would want to know how useful it is. Which means you'd have to probably cut a lot of things from this extra deck to fit that package in there. So it could be useful because then you get your, instead of a term mechanical dawn, you'll have your Desiree with 2 more negates right here, or a couple more and more attack, which could be useful. But once you use them, they're pretty much done. And if you locked in machines that turn before using that, and you have your Fiendsmith plays, then it's completely useless. But that's the deck, you know. What is that thing Dark Arm Duelist does? He'll put this here, have everything, bring in the extra deck. I hope you enjoyed listening to me babble about this and explaining how this works, and hopefully the glare didn't get inside your guys' way of seeing things. Again, sorry, 0.5. I'm using my phone to record this. I don't have any like YouTube gear set up, but hope you enjoy this if anybody does see this. And bye.